Hello YouTube, this is Captain Nav. I hope you are all doing well. This video is a tutorial on how to read the IFR charts and more precisely LIDO charts that you can get through Navigraph in particular. So the first kind of chart we have is the AFC chart. It's in that kind of purple color. AFC stands for Airport Facility Chart. We're looking at London Heathrow, United Kingdom, and the chart number is featured here, 2-10. So the charts are all sequenced into numbers. Then we're looking at the date of the chart and the effective date, so 23rd of June 2016. And then we've got the IATA code and the ICAO code for the airport, so LHR and EGLL for Heathrow. So basically, the AFC chart is a kind of summary of all the approaches and arrivals and departures into the airport itself. So we can see here we've got the information for the ILS approaches on 27 left and right, and here on 09 right and left. So as I said, basically it's a summary of all the facilities at the airport. So if we look up here, for example, we've got these green arrows, that's for departures, and some of those orange arrows as well, dotted all along are for arrivals. So you can see the departures in green and the arrivals in orange. Then we've got some information about holding patterns at Oakham and Tomo, for example. And looking around the chart, we've got the transition altitude 6,000 feet and transition level, which is dictated by ATC. And also at the bottom left corner, we've got the airport elevation there and the magnetic variation at the airport. So quite a lot of information on that chart. Basically, as I said, a summary of all the facilities. You can see some of the VOR frequencies, the MSA there as well in that red circle. We've got two sectors, 200 feet at the top and 2100 feet here south of the London VOR. And then top right corner, we've got all the ATC frequencies information. So we've got digital ATIS, but also we can listen to the ATIS on the radio, and then all the radio stations for the airport. So quite a lot of information there as well. And the last section is basically the landing runway system. So basically we've got like a picture of all the runways with the lighting and the distances and all these good things. So it's as I said, overall it's a fairly comprehensive chart and a summary of all the facilities at the airport. So now we'll move on to the AGC chart, the airport ground chart. The header works more or less the same way. We've got the name of the airport, of course, and that kind of orange color with the title AGC. Then the chart number 3-20, and on the top left the date of the chart and the effective date as well, which is 1 week later. And looking also at the ICAO and IATA codes once again. So the AGC chart is basically a picture of the airport layout with some information dotted around. For example, here we've got information about the runway length and dimensions. And if we look at the chart in general, we can see obviously all the frequencies once again here in that green box. With the digital ATIS, tower, ground, delivery frequencies. The changes here from the previous chart. So these are all the things that have changed and which appear now in the new chart. And yeah, basically if we look at the charts, we can see all the runways and taxiways. And for example here the distances from all the intersections. So We can double check our performance if we take off from an intersection there, the location of the tower, air traffic control tower there, right in the middle, near Terminal 3. And yeah, basically just the airport layout with all the information on taxiways and aprons, and also where all the terminals are. So it's a fairly useful chart to have, obviously, when you're navigating on the ground, just to kind of cross-check your position. So we'll move on now to the APCH chart, the airport parking chart. The header format is more or less the same, with the airport name and chart number, all the dates and airport codes there. So that's all good. And bottom right here as well, once again, all the ATC frequencies in that green box. So basically, the APC chart is a zoomed in chart on all the parking areas at the airport. We can see Terminal 5A, B, and we can see all the gates with these kind of orange pink arrows there, all leading towards the terminal, which shows that they are nose-in parking gates. So basically, the APC chart is a clearer picture of all the parking gates. Now we'll move on to the standard instrument departure chart, the SID chart, with this green color. And basically, the chart header is still the same format with the airport name, the name of the procedure, and all the dates and chart numbers, and also the airport codes here. Then looking at the bottom right of the chart, we have the transition altitude 6,000 feet and transition level by ATC, and also the airport elevation 83 feet with the magnetic variation, and also the changes on the chart, which on this one is just the obstacles around. In the top right corner, in this green box, we have all the London control ATC frequencies for departure. So for the video today, we'll use the Midhurst 4 Foxtrot departure, the mid 4 Foxtrot, and we'll look at the zoomed in part of the chart there for the departure. So for the Midhurst 4 Foxtrot, we'll depart from runway 27 right, the northerly runway, and take off runway 27 right on track of 271, intercept radial 257 from London VOR all the way to 5 DME, and then it's a left turn to intercept 162 from Burnham NDB Bravo Uniform Romeo until 8 DME London. At this stage we need to be 3,000 feet or above, with the line underneath 3,000, meaning or above, and continue all that track all the way to 12 DME. Then moving on to the main part of the chart at 12 DME, 4,000 feet or above, and then turning right 192 towards Midhurst VOR at 10 DME Midhurst 5,000, and then 6,000 at Midhurst, which is the stop altitude as a full number there. Warning, do not climb above the cleared altitude, so 6,000 feet in our case for the Midhurst departure. So I'll leave the chart on the screen for a few seconds so you can check all the tracks and distances and altitudes, and then we'll have a look at the textual description of the departure on the SIDPT chart, the procedure text chart. So this type of chart of gray color there in the top right corner, and the header format is still the same, with the airport name, the name of the procedure, all the dates and the airport codes, and the chart number as well. Then we look at the full text name of the procedures, and runway 27 right with the runway track or heading, if you want, 271. When instructed, contact London Control. And then we have this table for the climb gradient. Looking at the other part of the chart, we have this table with designator, routing, and altitudes. If we take our example today, the Midhurst 4 Foxtrot, and the designator column, we've got the name of the departure, the climb gradient, the frequency, and then 2 notes which apply to our departure. Then for the routing, runway 27 right, a textual description of the departure with all the instructions for navigation. And eventually looking at the right hand side of the table, the altitudes with all the altitudes at various points along the departure, and the actual cleared initial altitude, 6,000 feet. I mentioned in the designature column we had like a couple of notes. This is all the notes at the bottom of the chart there. So let's cross-check the FMC. We have heading 271 until intercepting 257 until Echo Point, which is 5 DME. Echo is the 5th letter of the alphabet, so 5 DME. Then a left turn towards the 162 India Point, which is 8 DME London, which is close enough. Then continuing towards 162 November, which is the 12 DME London, which is also close enough with the alphabet there. The track and distance makes sense. Then it's right turn 192 towards the Juliet Point, 10 DME Midhurst, and then 192 to Midhurst for 10 miles, 6,000 feet, which is all correct. So we got all the points there, matching up the departure plate. So if you use FMC equipped aircraft, this is what you need to do. Basically cross-check what you have in the FMC with the departure chart, just to make sure all the points make sense and all the tracks and distances cross-check. We'll move on to the arrival chart, the star chart, in this orange color. And the header format is still the same. We have the begin or wheeled arrival, depending on whether begin hail VOR is active or not. We've got the chart number and all the dates and airport codes there as always. If we look bottom right of the chart, once again, we have the transition altitude and the transition level here by ATC, and the left bottom corner of the chart, the airport elevation 83 feet and the magnetic variation. Below the airport elevation, we have all the changes on the new chart here. And looking at the top right corner, and the green box, the communications box, all the ATC frequencies. And also we've got warning, do not proceed beyond begin or wheeled without ATC clearance. If we look at the begin 4 Bravo arrival, we start the procedure at Alesso, a track of 316, 24 miles to waypoint Rotno. Another 10 miles to Edvax, expect flight level 180. Then we continue on track 315 for 8 nautical miles to Tiger. There's a holding pattern there if needs be. Then proceeding to the SLP, the speed limit point, max 250 knots. And then another 12 miles to Begin, which is the IAF, the initial approach fix, or also our clearance limit for the arrival. If Begin is US, then waypoint wheeled is substitute. Looking further up, we have in these 2 boxes the description of the holding patterns for Begin, which is basically 303 inbound right turns. So once again, if you use an FMC equipped aircraft, you will need to check the waypoint sequence, all the tracks, distances, any level restrictions, just to make sure you comply with the arrival. So now we'll move on with the last chart, the ILS chart. We look at the ILS DME runway 27 left, which is instrument approach chart, color coded blue. So the header is still the same format. I'm not gonna go through this again. Chart number 7-30. So 7 is for all the instrument approach charts. And the date, this time we don't have an effective date, so the chart was effective as soon as it was published on the 21st of April 2016. In this box we have the ILS frequency 109.5 India Lima Lima. With the D it's also equipped with DME, and we have the Morse code as well. Like always, we have the green communication box with all the ATC frequencies here. That's a recurrent feature on all the charts, very important. Then looking further down the chart on the right hand side, one of the recurrent features, we have the transition altitude and transition level, and also on the left here the airport elevation. Then top left corner we've got color codes for the elevations around the airport and the highest elevation. Then here the important minima box for the ILS approach 27 left. So I'll let you have a look at this and take your pick for your correct aircraft category, C or D, and then also the approach you're flying, so from Cat 3B all the way to circling. Obviously you wouldn't really circle at Heathrow, but all the minima are in this table there. And then in this section we have kind of a table with the altitudes versus distance, and also a brief overview of the runway, and finally kind of plan of the vertical profile of the approach with the platform altitude and distance, and then 3-degree glide path all the way to the runway, and also the description of the missed approach procedure in case you need to go around. And that's pretty much it for the ILS DME runway 27 left approach. In real, you wouldn't really follow this transition to the ILS runway 27 left. You would probably be radar vectored to intercept the localizer, but they give this transition just in case, I guess, you get maybe a radio communication failure or something like that. But 99% of the time you would follow radar vectors to intercept the ILS. And that's pretty much it, I have to say. Obviously there's much more to it, but basically to fly the ILS approach you only need 3 or 4 things which are very important. The rest is just extra information. The first thing you need is the ILS frequency and ident. So if we look in this box here, we've got 109.5 India Lima Lima. Then in the middle of the chart we have the in-band course 271. Then look at the minima table for the aircraft category and the type of approach you are flying. And then here we have the missed approach procedure described. And that's pretty much it. Once you've got all these elements, you can fly the approach quite happily. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more similar content. And until next time, I'll see you soon.